Why is an alleged abuser with a long-standing history of GBV cases to his name being platformed in a country like ours, where GBV is rife and the mistreatment of women is normalized and the justice system is failing in that regard?
But it never was okay. It was always a point where we talk about it. Like, yo, what?
Best friend, like everything I knew switched.
I'm not ever trying to put my hands on any female. Like me, I felt like a monster.
Everybody's going to say he's a monster without looking at the source. And I was more concerned about him.
Well, it's looking like one of Chris Brown's accusers has decided to reveal herself on IG, and she's not backing down. She had posted about the documentary. It's dropping October 27th, but this is what she had to say. She said, "Liar, clout chaser, ridiculous are some of the things I have heard over the years since I decided to tell what happened to me. I am not sure if I'm psychologically ready to face the consequences of appearing in this documentary, including financial consequences since I signed an NDA, but I couldn't pass on the opportunity to let people know what I went through and tell my side of the story. Several women agreed to participate and share their stories. We all went through a similar situation. We can't be against domestic violence and simply ignore some cases, or even worse, blame the victim. This is an investigative documentary in which I provided some evidence from the facts that happened with me back in 2016. I can't say much now, but please watch it when it airs on October 27th, and then we can talk more about it once it's released. For now, I'm just going to leave a question for you all. If someone is lying about you, would you pay for their silence?"
Look at this right here. Y'all want to cancel this man so bad. Like, I understand he has a crazy past, a violent past, but it gets to a point you start thinking, is there an agenda against this man? Look at this. It says, the accuser was dropped from her own lawyers for lying. False allegations. Like, come on, man. Like, this is the craziest thing. Like, this is what the whole documentary is about?
South Africa is in the midst of a GBV crisis where femicide rates are 5 times higher than the global average. On a different side of the coin, Chris Brown is now reported to have had multiple assault charges as well as sexual assault allegations, and he's the performer to be performing in South Africa. How does Brown's performance hinder South Africans, or rather South Africa's objective when it comes to GBV?
Unfortunately, someone like Chris Brown has a long record of abuse, and it's a huge slap in the face to a country like ours where we were titled rape capital of the world. The fact that he obtained a visa to our country and the looseness in our system to allow his accessibility to us, considering how dire this pandemic is in our country, it is distressing and disheartening to say the least.
Chris Brown's upcoming concert has sparked a lot of debate on violence against women, and Women for Change have launched a petition on change.org since the 2nd of this very month of October to stop him from entering the country and performing. And it has since gathered over 30,000 signatures so far. You will remember in less than 2 hours, the Grammy winner managed to sell out tickets on the FNB Stadium, which is the largest stadium in Africa with over 94,000 seats. The demand was so high that a 2nd December date was added, which will be the 14th and the 15th of December. Now back to the petition. It is urging organizers and the government to reconsider allowing Chris Brown to enter the country to perform at FNB in December, as his concert is scheduled just days after the global commemoration of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, making the concert a direct insult to the millions of women and girls affected by GBV in SA and worldwide. And this is according to the petition. And there's more. Women for Change executive director also told BBC that they were shocked upon seeing the news that Chris Brown was coming to SA, and deeply disappointed. So on their page, they shared this clip amongst other things.
For something he did when he was 18. How miserable are you? This probably as this account was getting smashed in the public toilets when she was 18 probably. You know, that's how ratchet you are when you're 18. Now you coming at this guy, bro, like what's wrong with you? Heal.
So this case study over here is telling us two things about himself. One, he can't read for meaning because he doesn't understand what Women for Change does. And two, he is part of the reason that South Africa is as dangerous as it is for women. I honestly don't expect him to change or to do any better. I'm just glad that he's publicly letting women know what a red flag he is. Who I do want to speak to is the men who want to listen, so let's go through a few things. Women for Change is an NPO that raises awareness about gender-based violence issues specifically affecting women, but they also do highlight issues that affect men in some instances. They do this so that when they have campaigns, petitions, or they want to raise awareness about certain issues, you understand how important it is because you see how regularly women are impacted by gender-based violence. They provide medical assistance, legal assistance, counseling, and they give women and everybody information on what to do regarding gender-based violence when they don't know what options exist for them. They also partner with organizations like the Safe House and R-Word Crisis, and as you can imagine, that's exactly what they cater to. So I understand why this case study doesn't think that Women for Change has done anything for women or for South Africans, because he might not have needed assistance with gender-based violence, but for those who did or who have used their services, Women for Change has been invaluable. Now, even if they didn't do all that work outside of social media, just the fact that they raise awareness and inform people in the country about what is happening, 142,000 people find value in that, so that in itself is a contribution. Now, I'm not sure why so many of us are fooled into believing that the only incidence of violence by this particular artist was in 2009, because that's not the case. We can look at the 2013 incident with Frank Ocean, the 2016 incident with Bailey Curran, a court order from 2017 that his ex-girlfriend has against him for 5 years and she's now trying to extend for life. And then there's an incident as recent as July this year. Now, as a country with the highest rate of sexual violence on the planet, it doesn't make sense to platform somebody with a history of violence, particularly against women, from 2009 right up until this year. Now, it's not as if we don't have enough issues to sort out with our local artists, because we definitely do. And they deserve the same level of scrutiny and sanctioning as international artists do. We understand very well what it means to boycott a business when they are harming society or anybody in the immediate circle. But it seems like when it comes to musicians, especially your favorite ones, we can't seem to understand that music is their business. And when you still support them, you are doing the same kind of damage to society. And in a country like ours, you are essentially saying that gender-based violence is not a deal breaker for you. And this unread case study here is showing us why he's part of the reason that dangerous men find a safe space in South Africa.
And Chris Brown left a comment writing he can't wait to come with a heart emoji. And obviously his comment sparked a lot of anger from them as they reposted it and responded to it, writing it's giving ignorant, it's giving he doesn't care, it's giving fame and superiority. The audacity to comment on this Women's for Change post, the fact that he chose to comment on this post of all other posts. I'm so disgusted, man. So people are reacting to this, so let's get into their comments. Now imagine God not forgiving us for our iniquities. Who will be alive? The stadium is booked and the concert is sold out. Y'all can stop. Blocking Chris Brown from performing in South Africa because of a past incident is not only short-sighted, it's borderline hypocritical. Let's not pretend the country itself doesn't have a long history of systemic violence against women. A history still playing out today. Now we are supposed to pick one man who already served his time, made amends with the actual victim, and continue punishing him indefinitely? Last time I checked, the public isn't owed an apology, and redemption doesn't come through public opinion polls. Man isn't God, and if God can forgive him, why are we holding a grudge? We should be focusing on the real work of dismantling the culture of abuse, not scapegoating someone who's actively tried to change. Let's stop with the selective outrage and start addressing the real issues at hand. At this point, Rihanna needs to come forward and speak for this situation because it's really getting out of hand. It really is. He don't deserve this. He's shown and continue to show personal growth and inspire that of others. He's been the industry punching bag for far too long. When are we gonna quit beating him up and knocking him all over every time he makes an announcement? He did his time. And of course, Women for Change was also called out. I'm a young South African who's reached out to this organization because of their abuse and literally no response. But Chris Brown gets more talkability. What is the purpose of this organization if it's not to help women like myself who needs a voice? And someone responded to that saying, I feel your pain. I asked Women for Change for a missing person to be shared since it can reach more people, but nothing. I checked the stories and timeline hoping that I'll see it, but obviously nothing. Another added as well saying, at Women for Change SA, I've DM'd you as well regarding my missing aunt about 4 years ago and received no help. And there's someone else saying, at Women for Change SA, very telling on what you're really after, pitiful. Every single day is Chris Brown now on this page. The founder of this page just seen this as an opportunity to gain popularity. There isn't any sincerity in this so-called fight. It's freaking obvious. Just stop. What also caught my attention was someone writing that 94 people in one place. Can you imagine the amount of the big R that will happen that night? Women for Change responded to that saying, see the harassment and verbal abuse our page receives. Half of the people who attend must be abusers. So what do you make of this, fam? Do you think it is fair to block Chris Brown from entering the country and performing because of his past transgressions? Or he should be allowed to come in because he's coming in as an artist, not an abuser? What do you make of this? Do share your thoughts in the comment section. Also remember to subscribe, like, share. Until next time, bye and thank you for watching.